Hi, my name is Jeannie, and the topic for today is changing poison into medicine and the concept of obstacles and problems in Nichiren Buddhism and how we can defeat that or overcome obstacles. So, this morning, someone who watched my video from across the world, all the way in Africa, actually communicated with me and asked me for guidance or encouragement or anything that I could share, because we had a similar experience, which is, the financial loss or career, and also loss of a loved one, which is someone of that person's family member dying and passing away, and also loss of or end of a relationship. And it was very it made me realize that I made the right decision, because 2 years ago, when I was in a low point in my life and my relationship had ended, and despite what I did, I literally left my career to make it work with the guy I was with. It was a long-term relationship, and I really felt hopeless, because I felt like I did all that I could, but despite what I did, I still lost, and I felt so bad and so low. It was the lowest point in my life, one of the lowest points in my life. And I remember there was another member that was chanting for years, and I know their heart, or that person's heart, was in the right place, but the encouragement didn't sound like an encouragement. It sounded like it was too harsh, because I was told, so you're gonna lose, over a man, or you're losing over a man, and I felt like that person wasn't being kind to me. And I also felt as well at that point that I wasn't also being kind to myself, because everything is always, the external is always a reflection of the internal. And also I received guidance that said, there's a lot of men out there, that's just one man, don't be defeated by a single guy or something like that. But it was too harsh, and it wasn't coming from a place of kindness and of understanding. Because literally, when you love someone, you give them your everything. When you really genuinely love someone, and to say that that's just a man, that's just a guy, and to just say oh, you're defeated, there's a lot of people around the world, there's billions of people that can replace that person, and you're just giving up because of a single person. I didn't really see it that way. I saw it as a loss. I saw it that that I needed to grieve, because it was an end of something that I put my life and my effort into. And instead of being reprimanded for seemingly being weak, I think it's always important to come from a compassionate place, that, and that's why when you encourage someone, make sure that it's really coming from a place of compassion, and not just reading someone a quote, a Buddhist quote, oh, this and that, but not coming from an authentic place. And I remember at that time that it was the lowest point of my life, and here there was someone telling me that I was losing. I was basically a loser, and I felt that. And then I remember promising myself that if I am able to rise above this and get over this, I will be more compassionate. And I actually was grateful for that experience, because it made me realize that, oh my God, we really don't know what other people are going through. And it's really helpful if we come from a more compassionate and a caring place. And that's so I told this member from across the world, you know, not just my experience, but I told him, like, because he was asking for encouragement, so I told him to be kind to yourself, to be accepting of where you are, and to be accepting that we will in life always experience problems and hardship. That's a fact of life. As long as we are alive, we will always experience that. That will always be a given. But to not give up hope, and it's hard. It really is hard. But you know, the way I survived that was I asked for help from other people. Hey, I need help, you know. And I also, the next morning, I maybe just chanted one phrase of Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and that was enough probably to last me a day, and then the following day, and then the following day, and then the following day. And also being compassionate to oneself, you know, and just understanding and being accepting that when we lose, it's okay. It's okay. We can grieve when we lose someone, and it's totally okay to be where we are right now. And to just be accepting that in life, that we will reach low points. We're not going to be experiencing highs and highs forever. It's going to be like we will experience low points, but the low points is actually the turning point in our lives, because that would be the place where we can actually make things even more better than it was before. So I told this person that, you know, who's experienced loss, and I understand. I actually was crying when I was chanting, because I felt that person's pain as well, because that was a pain that I experienced as well. So I remembered chanting for that person just this afternoon. I'm also chanting for that person's happiness as well. And also what I told him was that when we lose something, not many people have an opportunity to start fresh, to reset their lives. And, you know, because when you lose everything, it's like there's no way to go but up. And also, it's also a place where you can assess, like, rebuild yourself even stronger, rebuild a more stronger foundation based in chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and also based in, you know, compassion, self-compassion, compassion for others, and based in hope as well, that when we lose something, when we've lost everything, that is the starting point for a better life. So I told this person, you know, try to, although it is hard, try to rebuild your life to make a better, happier version of your life. So let's say, because this person was also talking about financial loss. So I told that person, you know, sometimes we may think that, you know, maybe having a lot of money will make us happy. But is that really what we want? Or is that really what you want? So I told him to really examine his life and ask himself what really makes him happy, you know, because sometimes we choose careers and we choose a path that we're really actually pleasing other people, like our family or society. We want to look good, you know, like, oh, I want like an expensive car because I want to be fancy. But we are not coming from an authentic place. It should always come from an authentic place. Will that make you happy? you know. And that's an opportunity. When you experience loss, that's really an opportunity for you to look at your life. Like, did the things that I was doing before, were they making me happy? And, you know, because and I also told this person that, because this person like was gonna marry someone like similar to my experience too, but that person did something wrong to that person. And I asked that person, like, you know, if you, because sometimes we think that marriage is, you know, will automatically make us happy. But I know people that are trapped in loveless relationships and in loveless marriages, and they just feel trapped. They can't get out because for some reason they have kids, or financially they're tied down, or they just can't escape. So being married or being committed or being in a relationship doesn't really guarantee us to be happy, you know. It all starts with just defining happiness for ourselves, and really coming from an authentic place, and not like, because I've met people that they're like, oh, I have to keep up with the Joneses or something. I have to keep up with this person, or my family is expecting me to do this and that. But will that ultimately make you happy? Because at the end of the day, we have only one life to live, and we might as well live happy lives that we define happiness for ourselves, and not as defined by other people. So I told this guy that this is a great reset, and not many people have the opportunity to reset their lives and start from scratch, from the bottom, and start from a new place of creating something even better than before. Because I've been around, like I've literally met hundreds of people because of the nature of my job, and because of I've done a lot of things in my life, and I've just observed people, and you know, people don't have that opportunity sometimes to build a stronger foundation for their lives. So their foundation is based on superficial things like, you know, status, you know, their financial status, or, you know, it's like, it's very superficial, and it's not based on being authentic, and it's not based on really their own definition of what should make them happy or not. And so I told this guy, this is an opportunity for you to really examine your life and what really makes you happy for you by your own standards, by your own definitions. That happiness as you define it, not as other people define it. And also happiness as well that's coming from inside, from our authentic selves, you know, and coming from a place of hope as well. Because like life, like life is hard. I just have to admit it. Life is hard, but because I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, for some reason, no matter how bad a situation is, and I just continue to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, I just transform it. And now my prayers are, when I encounter difficulties, when I encounter loss, my prayer is always, how can I make this even better than before? Or how can I be even happier? You know, even more happier than I should be, you know? It's always like coming from making that place that's causing you problems and obstacles, like your obstacles, and turning it into an opportunity for further growth and development and happiness. So I'm just gonna quote from the World Tribune about life, you know. Life is a series of ongoing challenges, and how we respond to unexpected events is crucial. Do we accept such events as misfortune and give up? Do we try to avoid problems and wait for time to resolve them? Do we resent our struggles and blame them on others or on our environment? Or do we confront obstacles head on and transform them as opportunities for further growth? So again, when we suffer loss, when we, because Buddhism is win or lose. So we may lose today, but the following day, we could win, Don't give up hope. So Nichiren Buddhism teaches that there's utmost value in the latter response. Our faith in practice of chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo enables us to take on all hardships and challenges as the fuel for strengthening our resolve and abilities. This is why developing faith for overcoming obstacles is one of the 5 eternal guidelines of Nichiren Buddhism, of SGI. So the purpose of our faith is to enable us to face and overcome all difficulties and challenges in life, whether problems in our daily life or challenges in the realm of faith. So the word obstacles in the phrase, faith for overcoming obstacles, indicates anything that prevents us from advancing in our Buddhist practice and revealing our Buddhahood. And Buddhahood is literally the strength, perseverance, wisdom, courage, conviction, and composure to take action. So that is Buddhahood is a winning state of life. So it comes down to developing the life condition to see obstacles as opportunities, as turning points for developing our best qualities as human beings and deepening our faith. As we strive with this mindset, we can develop the abilities to remain unshaken, to keep fighting. Ultimately, winning means to never give up, no matter the circumstances. From this perspective, faith for overcoming obstacles has 2 aspects. Number 1, persevering and winning over each difficulty. Number 2, growing and becoming a person of outstanding character. So yeah, my point is to never give up hope, and even if you feel hopeless, try to reach out to someone, call a friend, maybe ask someone to chant with you, because it's hard. And that's what I did. I actually asked to chant with someone because I felt at that point I was in a very low point in my life, and I knew I needed help, I needed support. And just having the courage to ask for help, like, hey, because it was pretty hard for me, because I used to be a leader, young women's leader, and I was the one encouraging people, and here I was being the one needing support and encouragement, because I felt so hopeless. But I feel so grateful now, because I really realized the importance of self-compassion, the importance of self-kindness, the importance of just self-acceptance. We will make mistakes, we will encounter problems, we will suffer loss, we will reach low points in our lives. But to accept that and to really be compassionate and kind to ourselves and not beat ourselves up, because that's the most important thing, is that we don't beat ourselves up, and to just come from that place of self-love and just acceptance. And yeah, and I remember when I was starting out, I think my 3rd year of practice, so I had a member from India, and she was very strict, because I was asking her I chant, so how come I have problems? And she said, that my view of the practice was very superficial. Of course, chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo doesn't prevent you from having problems. No, as long as we are alive, even if we are not chanting Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, we will still encounter problems. But the great thing about chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and I literally have experienced this, no matter how sad, so negative the situation, as long as you chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, you can turn it around and turn it into a positive, you know. So out of my relationship, the loss of my relationship, I actually was able to find a second career, which is writing, and now like I'm developing a course on self-development. I'm writing a goal setting book, so I'm helping other people. So from the end of something, I was able to create something even better than before, which is, can you imagine, like I've always wanted to be a writer, to be doing the thing that I love, which is to write, to be creative. That was something I never expected that would be possible. And it only happened because I came from a place of introspection and like, okay, this happened. Now, what else can I do? How can I make myself even better than before? How can I reinvent myself? And this can also be business, you know, business loss. So let's say, and all the CEOs right now and the business owners that are successful, they came from loss, you know, like the founder of Amazon, I think he was bankrupt earlier on, and he wouldn't be in a place right now if he didn't think about like, you know, okay, so I suffered a loss, I made a mistake, but what else can I do different, you know? And I think that's, but the only difference with the when we chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is our compassion comes out more, our potential as human beings comes out more. So I really suggest, because I'm starting to chant this way as well, it's like when I chant now, it's more like, okay, so this happened, but how can I make myself even happier, more happier than ever before? And I also like, what is my potential? What potential can I tap into? What is my highest potential that I can tap into, that I can achieve so much even more greater things than before? And also right now, I come from a place of self-love and compassion and being kind to myself. So I don't define happiness as other people define it. I define it for myself, which is like, you know, I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm writing books, and for me, that is in itself my definition of success, that I'm doing things that I love. So try to look at yourself right now, your life right now, where you are encountering difficulties and problems, and make it as an opportunity for you. Like, how can I make this even better than before? How can I change this? And chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, because it's really different. And actually I'm chanting more as well, because like I have problems like just like everybody, but when I chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, it's just so different. And I do a lot of things. I'm in self-help, you know. I do a lot of like positive thinking and stuff like that. But I swear, like, chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo is so different, because you just come from that authentic place, and just that your life force comes out, your highest potential comes out. I can't explain it. It's like your life condition, it's just changing from the inside out. And then I just remembered like 2 years ago, I was really, and I admit it, I was ready to give up on the practice. I was telling myself, you know what, you know, the guy I was with, you know, I told him to, I taught him how to chant, I taught him how to be happy, and now like I'm unhappy, you know. And I was blaming external circumstances, not realizing that it was all coming from my life, you know. And So instead of giving up, I actually didn't give up. I just continued to chant, and I continued to chant, and I continued to chant, and I just continued to chant Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And then I was able to transform that negative. It was such a negative experience. I can't explain it. It was like one of the lowest point in my life. But for me to be able to change it, it's only because, in a way that I have, it's only because I was chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and because of I was chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, I wasn't defeated. You know, I had hope. So it is my hope that when you are at the lowest point in your life, that you just remember to chant. Ask someone to chant with someone, or teach someone to chant, encourage someone, and come from that compassionate place, that place of self-acceptance and of self-love, that it's okay, you know, that as long as we are alive, there's always hope, and to not give up on ourselves, you know, and to not give up on people as well, other people, and just to continue chanting Nam-myoho Renge Kyo. And that's just that's all I can share right now, and I hope I make sense. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you.